when you're living paycheck to paycheck, even a substantial one, you're predictable, controllable. You need that job. You can't take risks, can't start a business, can't invest in your own ideas because all your money. You wake up at 6:47 a.m., 7 minutes before your alarm. Your body knows. It's been doing this for 4,847 days, almost 13 years at the same company. You tell yourself it's security, a good salary, benefits, stability. But as you stare at the ceiling, there's this feeling you can't quite shake. You're making more money than your parents ever dreamed of, and somehow you're more broke than ever. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why that's not a coincidence. It's by design. This is the salary chop. Let me introduce you to Sarah. She's 34, makes $85,000 a year. On paper, she's in the top 20% of earners in her country. She should feel rich. She doesn't. Sarah gets paid every 2 weeks. That's $3,269 before taxes. After taxes, it's $2,458. Now here's where the chop gets interesting. The system doesn't present her with a choice. It doesn't say, here's your money, decide what to do with it. Instead, it does something far more clever. It fragments her money across invisible channels before she ever sees it. Rent takes $1,200. That's nearly half of her after-tax income. Groceries and dining out, $400. Car payment, insurance, and gas, $550. Phone, internet subscriptions, $120. Utilities, $140. By the time Sarah actually sees her paycheck's implications, she's already spent $2,410 of her $2,458. She has $48 left for an entire 2 weeks. But here's the psychological genius of it. Sarah doesn't experience it as deprivation. She has the car, she has a place to live, she's successful. This system gives you...
I thought that would be a great video to build on, on this fine day of Dr. Martin Luther King birthday. For those that don't know, and I'm sure it's a lot of people that don't know, the day is his birthday and not on Monday, so yeah, so that's for you folks. Today is his birthday. You know, the mind fuck about bills is that we've been sold the good life. We've been sold the good life. Everybody wants it. You know what I'm saying? And rightfully so. You should have the best out of life. But the reality is, can you afford it? Now, I'm going to tell you, I thought the worst thing in the world when growing up was to be without. And, but I had a big loving family, and we was just strong by design, meaning that we didn't have the latest and the greatest, the flyest and the coolest and none of that. But we had each other. We was our own support system. We held each other up. So let me set the design for you. My mother is the baby of 12, okay? So that's a lot of people in our family alone. My grandmother had 12 kids. So therefore, we was a community of our own. So nobody needed nothing that we had to go outside the family to, to ask for anything, because we all internalized helping each other. And my grandmother was the head. She was the CEO of our family and the boss, the owner, and all that. She directed everybody to do everything. And therefore, I want to say that our money stayed in our community of our family. because that's how it was structured. You feel me? Meaning the kids, like now, they think they gotta have new shoes every week and every day and every month. You know when you got new shoes? You got new shoes when it was your birthday or Christmas. That was the only time you got clothes and shoes for yourself. That was for you. The rest of the time throughout the year, you got hand-me-downs, which was from your cousin or your brothers and sisters. You know, that's how we recycle things, which kept us from spending money that we didn't have. I used to get laughed at about not having the latest, greatest, and so when I got something new from a relative, because they outgrown it, I was psyched up. I come outside like I was doing something, and my friends be laughing like, dog, what you got on? Man, that was 2 years ago. And I was such a character, meaning, I didn't have low self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, it's new to me, goddamn it. And I'm going to floss it. I'm going to wear it like it's new, like it's in style, because it's new to me. You feel me? Like when you go buy a car from CarMax, if that car don't say 0 miles, you're buying a used car. Okay? So that's a hand-me-down car. Same situation, right? So I say that to say we didn't have fancy cars and all that growing up. So I never needed to feel like I needed that stuff. But growing up, and when I started making some money, I did have a complex about how I looked. I got tired of wearing everybody else's shoes and clothes. It wasn't mine. Stuff that wasn't bought for me. You feel me? So yeah. Um, so my money would get spent on clothes. When I turned 14, 15, 16 on up, I'm going to say high school, I know I was the best dressed in high school because I was working, buying my own clothes. And my friends that was out on the block, I was looking just like them, but I was earning my money. I wasn't on the corner, you know, you know, hurting the community. But you try not to judge people. These was my friends, regardless of what they did and why they did it. And I think back then, uh, the need for what you did and why you did it was more severe than it is now. Kids now, they don't want to put in no kind of work. I just heard a dude complain about working for UPS, talking about it's hot, you can't have your phone, and I felt like a slave, but they paid him $22 an hour, you know what I'm saying, with no experience. So it's psychological. You're there so you won't like it, so you can raise yourself up to do better. My son working fast food, just like I did growing up. I took that McDonald's job. So, so Chick-fil-A is like a upscale fast food situation. And, it's fast food regardless. But them type of jobs are for kids in school, college, high school, middle school, not middle school. Yeah, middle school, but once you pass 25, it's time to get you a job that's going to pay you a salary with benefits. That's what you're looking for if you don't get that early on. So, yeah. So I tell people nowadays, like, my child is a college student, get ready to come out of school, but I'm telling them you need a trade to go along with that college degree. You see what President Trump just did with government folks. Just can't, they just woke up one day and went to work and they couldn't get in their buildings. They've been ripped, which is called laid off until further notice. And then if you're not in good standings, if they don't like you, uh, any reason that they don't want to bring you back, you won't come back when they start bringing employees back. So a lot of people lost their job at the end of the day. They didn't do nothing wrong but show up and come to work every day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, you know, uh, back to my original, what I was saying early on, we do a bad job of acquiring things that we can't afford. You know, like we literally live at work because we're trying to pay for material items, and I didn't realize it then, but I do know now. Growing up and not having, it didn't make me want to go out and just become a materialistic monster. No, it made me appreciate anything that I got because I was in a mindset that I didn't have to have what everybody else wanted, which was luxury cars and whatever else that go with that, but mainly the luxury car. And because I didn't grow up with it, I never missed it. And then when you getting in the grand scale of things of how money is spent, and you someone like me that come from no money, and you got family depending on you like a mother and sisters, because your dad not in the house, he in and out, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to have a life of your own, but take care of your moms and your little sisters, and then one of your sisters start having kids. So now you playing daddy financially to them. So you ain't got a lot of money to move around and to give. So it makes you real stringent about how you spend your money. So I say it now and I say it again. My first luxury car I got when I was 50 years old that I bought for myself. Not saying I ain't had new cars over the years. And I only got the new cars that I got because I was married and my wife wasn't having it. She like, look, we're going to upgrade this vehicle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not riding around in that. You know what I'm saying? So I get that, So, happy wife, happy life. I get that. So, but my real luxury car that I wanted, that I ever had, I bought for myself at 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? And it felt good. And what was crazy about it, I don't went so long without tripping off or nothing like that. I really wasn't phased, but it marked off and checked off a checklist, like, a bucket list. Okay, check. Now what's next? You know what I'm saying? So it ain't nothing that I felt that I had to have as part of who I am as a person, because I just feel like once you get money or start getting some money, you can live the way you want to live. Like, I never had a luxury car up to that point. I had nice vehicles, but it wasn't nothing name brand, and I was getting money, so I ain't care about it. But I know from coming up from back in the day, that was a real important thing to have a nice car. It showed status and profile. I ain't give a fuck about none of that shit because I just didn't. I didn't have it before. I wasn't tripping. But it still didn't make me or curve me from living a lifestyle. Because with money, you do what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? When I started getting money, my profile changed, meaning I wore better clothes, I wore better shoes, I kept money in my pocket. So that right there opened the door to a lot of places, a lot of things. Opened the door to access to people that I didn't have access to before. It wasn't no luxury car because I thought about it. I'm like, you can't take that car in a restaurant or the clubs we go to. Nobody know you got a nice car unless you telling them. Or you out front of the spot and you leaning up against the car like some of my friends would do. You know, like, hey, look at me. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So I say that to say your appeal and independence and who you were as a person that people had to judge you by. Like when you meet a woman anywhere, club, church, at work, you're actually talking to her face to face. That's your presentation right there. What you are and who you are and how you representing yourself. You feel me? You know, and you're being judged right then and there. So my mindset was I'm gonna make a good impression when I see you face to face, when I talk to you. You gonna look me up and down and say, this man put together. He look good, he groomed, he smell good, you know what I'm saying? And this is a big thing from what I used to hear ladies say. Look at a man's shoes. That tells you the story of who he is. If a man got on busty shoes, then yeah, he might not be someone that you would consider a catch. But if a man got on nice shoes, yeah, that means he got something going on. And that might not be actually true because there's a lot of people with nice shoes. It might be bums. But women from back in the day has been taught to judge men by their shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell a lot about a man about his shoes. Do he got on work boots? Do he got on casual boots? Do he got on luxury boots? So old school women, they entertain what I'm saying. And I don't think this generation of women grabs that detailed information because I don't know if they've been taught, and probably not, you know what I'm saying? But I know growing up listening to women talk, because for some reason when women talking, they feel like you're not listening, that you occupied and you're not listening to what they saying. But I'm nosy, I hear everything and I want to know everything, especially about anything and everything that's in my space and around me. I want to know what's up. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that I don't want to know that I shouldn't know. You know what I'm saying? And I let it be known with my kids and my family. You know what I'm saying? Anything you doing, I'm going to find out about it, or I want to know about it. All that, I like a level of privacy. Fuck your privacy. If you in my space, you connected to me, I want to know everything about you. You're not going to play games with me. That's how I give it up. You feel me? So yeah, that's how that go. But the life cycle of work is all a hustle to just keep you limited. Cause I never really realized until I learned how the scales of money and the classes, and you in this money bracket, you in this, I was like, damn, the more I earn, the more they want to take. But that's taxes, that's the government. That's the way it's set up. I don't like it, but That's what it is. You got to get them people their money because the government have no problem with ruin. Well, look, the government will ruin you, meaning you can owe the government money and they won't even address you right away. They'll let taxes and penalties and everything build up. So anything you own, any benefits you getting, they're gonna take everything from you. And it'll be enough to once you just feel like destroying yourself, like just giving up. So I just advise people to not play with the government. Pay them your money. Whatever tax you get on anything, pay that money because they'll let you go for years and come and take everything. Look at what they did to Red Fox and a lot of celebrities, tax that they didn't pay, or you trust people with your tax, like your tax man and all that. It's like when you start playing with real money, you need to learn everything that your management know, your agents, your lawyers, your tax people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to get money, but it's hard to keep it. You know what I'm saying? You're a target. Everybody coming at you. So let me bring it back in because I be going in. So my point is, growing up with nothing, it made me watch everything that I was spending on, and the biggest cash cow that would take money from you will be a vehicle, you know, and it will be often a vehicle that we really couldn't afford. I mean, we can afford to pay for it, but do you have any money left over after you pay insurance, after you pay the note itself? You know what I'm saying? I remember one of my homies bought an Escalade. The note was $500 and the insurance was $500. He paying a whole G. You know what I'm saying? And I get the note $500, but god damn, insurance, full coverage, a whole $500. That's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And so now you forced to go get another job, and that become your lifestyle. So now you gotta make sure you get rest your body, and because you need rest to crank out like that. And I'm telling you something I know. I've been rolling, in a double up for 30 years. You know what I'm saying? I just hit 30 years in my double up, and it feel good because I have accomplished a lot in my journey of 30 years. I've been married twice. I'm on my second marriage, two honeymoons, you know what I'm saying? Two receptions, you know. I done had a biological son. I gained a son and a daughter and a grandbaby. And if you combine all two marriages, you know what I'm saying? And I still managed to take care of my immediate family, which was my mother and my sisters and my sister kids. But everybody grown now. The kids are grown, and you got some of the kids still want to be kids, and you got to put your foot on their neck and let them know, I don't take care of grown folks. You know what I'm saying? You had your timeline when I was on your back about going to school, getting a good job, and you ain't want to listen. That's your problem at this point. It's not mine. You know what I'm saying? Your boy get ready to retire in about 15 years, I'm getting rid of issues. I'm not making new issues. I'm going forward. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm on record by saying if you help yourself and I see it and it's legit, I'm going to hold you down. But you have to have a plan. What is your plan that's going to not have you calling me every 5 minutes? Because I'm not getting up to work for you. Because you don't get up to work for me. That's how that go. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing them games. You know? So, you know, I hear people all the time complaining about what jobs they not going to work, or just pay short money, or, you know, for real, you acting above, you know, I'm above this job, and, you know, this too, you know, I'm too cool for this job. It's beneath me. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, if you broke, you don't have these options to be saying this. You know, you need to get in where you fit in. Whoever offering you a job, you need to go in that door and maximize the benefits and figure out from there what's next. But you don't be broke from the sideline and staying broke talking about, oh, I'm too cool for this, or this beneath me, and it's paying short money. You got a lot of people that do that. Broke motherfuckers at the end of the day. That's just what it is, you know. Motherfucker that don't have no problem with having a hand out, you know, but you think you all that. How are you all that when you broke? When you asking anybody for anything? You know, it hurts me to ask anybody for anything, especially money. It hurts me to owe somebody some money. That's how much of an independent person that I am. Because I don't want nobody pressing me. Hey, when you going to pay me that? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, you done told the dude, look, I get paid Friday. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you lose a bet Friday on a fight or a game. You done told that joker right then and there, I'll see you next Friday. This dude calling you Monday and Wednesday. Yo, when you gonna hit me all? Dude, didn't I just, you know, I went through that. That's why I was like, you know what? I ain't doing this no more. That's why I stopped betting. That's why I don't ask people for money, because I don't want to have to pay nobody back. And I damn sure don't want you asking me for shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting it out the mud, meaning I've been getting my ass up at 3:30, 4 in the morning, and coming home at 8 in the evening for years. I don't want to hear nobody excuses about why they can't do what. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. Get on your business and get you some business and be about your business. I don't want to hear it. No excuses. This is a no excuses zone right here. Straight up. You feel me? So yeah, you know. So all you jokers acting like you too good for this and that, man. Look, don't ring my phone, and when you see me, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I'm allergic to excuses. You feel me? Cause these folks that come around you, all they doing is pocket watching. And I'm not even gonna allow you to do that. I don't want to be in your space, and I don't want you in mine. So bottom line to what I'm trying to say is, be strategic when you purchase and buy things. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know, if you broke after you buy anything, like my grandma told me, like, you don't never spend your last on nothing. I don't care how bad you want it. If you don't need it that bad if it's going to keep you broke or have you broke. If something costs $100 and that's all you got, you don't need it right then and there. You wait till you get $2 more $100. So now you got 3, and then you spend $100. That's how that go. You know what I'm saying? Same thing in a relationship, and I'm gonna always keep coming back to this because people act like they don't know how to choose a partner, and it ain't really difficult because whatever you come to a relationship with, whatever you have to offer, just make sure it's reciprocated. Nobody should get a free ride. I don't care if it's a woman, I don't care if it's a man. If I get up every morning, you gonna get up every morning. Bottom line. You know what I'm saying? Nobody get a free ride. I don't care how fine you is or how good looking a dude is. You know what I'm saying? You know, because it's not fair to that person that's putting in the work. And then you just letting somebody just chill. And what they do, users, they use up all your resources and whatever you got going on. And then this person that did less or next to nothing, soon as they see you tapped out or the resources or whatever you had going on is gone, they ready to be out. You know what I'm saying? And they looking for the next plate to eat off. And they're going to keep doing it as long as we allow them to do it. You feel me? So you can like anybody all you want. A dude could be handsome, a woman can be beautiful. But if you ain't got nothing going on, you're not ready to be in nobody relationship. Bottom line. Go get your life together. Go get your bag. Go get something going on to bring into the relationship. I tell my son, I tell my daughters, you know, anybody, you got a good job, you got a good education, you got a car, you got a residence. Whoever you trying to make your family or date, they gotta have the basics for reasons that can just take place just like that. You lose your job. Now you ain't got no money. Now you can't pay rent. Now you can't pay for your car. So what you gonna go back home to your parents? No, if I'm in a relationship with you, I should be able to come to your spot until I get back on my feet. If I get in an accident with my vehicle, you need to come and play Uber because that's what I would do for you. If your apartment catch on fire and you need somewhere to go, you should be able to come stay with me. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's necessary to have your own. You got your own, I got mine, and we bring our shit together when that time comes. Because you'll save more money under one roof. But until then, and in the beginning, you need to have yours. What is your benefit you're bringing to this situation? It ain't gotta be all you rich and but you can't not have nothing. You feel me? It is what it is. Bottom line. And people out here looking for people to sponge off or you know what I'm saying? You know, like it's sweet, So we gotta train our kids, our young ladies, our young men. Don't let nobody come in your space and just take advantage of your benefits and they bring no benefits at all. You know what I'm saying? You're not prepared to date if you can't have the basics, if you don't have the basics. And I'm talking to someone that's 25 and up or 30, definitely 30 and up. You college age or high school, okay, I'm going to give you a little grace. But a grown man, grown woman, you ain't got an apartment or a residence. You ain't got a car. You ain't got no job. Them the big 3 right there. A residence, a car, and a job. That's what you need to be bringing to any relationship, man or woman. Bottom line, if you fucked up or I'm starting over, okay, well, go get your life together, and I see you when you get your shit together. Because right now you're not prepared to be in a relationship with me at the end of the day. That's just bottom line. And that could be a man or a woman. Don't let people just come in your space and want to use your benefits. And all they do and all they're doing is just enjoying the ride and not contributing. We have to start setting expectations before we let people in our space. You get what I'm saying? And that's just bottom line. That's how you protect yourself from getting hurt or getting yourself mixed up with a loser at the end of the day. It could be a man or woman. You know what I'm saying? So I just hope I'm teaching somebody something. And I'm talking from experience, you know. So, you know, or you can be stupid all you want and let somebody just turn your life upside down to the point you want to kill yourself or you know you just want to be done with life. Life's so hard and look, fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you weak, just go get out the way. Go sit in the corner. Go in the closet and just get out the way until you get some strength in your body. Take your ass to church and get some strength and then come back out here in the world and be productive. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Because this motherfuckers acting like today not his birthday and Monday is his birthday. That's who I'm talking to. The day is January 15th. It's Martin Luther King birthday today, not fucking Monday. I holler. Like, share, subscribe. This your boy, Big D. We out.